so much. What do you think? Gray, huh? Gray suit. Huh? Huh? For those of you that don't know me that well, every time I get a new suit, someone always asks me, what color of black did you get? So I've been getting a few different color suits lately. So last night, there's not many words to describe what took place last night, other than it was the most incredible, most outrageous, most awesome, most incredible meeting I have ever been at in my entire life. It's also one that if I had said another 4 words, I wouldn't be able to talk this morning. We're here today to learn. Last night was certainly a celebration for us. It was a time for us to be able to celebrate with our friends and give out awards to those people who have worked so hard. But today is very different. Today's a day of concentration. Today is a day of listening harder than we listened last night. Today is a day of being able to take extremely good notes, because learning this information is valuable for you. And I'd just like to ask here today, how many of you would actually like, by the next time that we meet, when I come out, which won't be very long from now, would actually be a qualified net team members? How many of you like to get on the net team? I really want it. And then you're going to be hearing from #1 distributors to teach you how they retail the product, how they get those retail customers to become distributors, how they sponsor people into the business, how they work with their distributors to help them become successful, how in many cases they've started out right in their own home villages and have built their checks around the world now and have built an international company. As I open up the day here today, I want you to listen to me not as the president of the company. You know, I come to this meeting here and you know, it's overwhelming what takes place. I thought last night, as we had the 12 bodyguards that surrounded me to try to get me in the room, that I was going to have the biggest problem walking down the staircase. What happened down here on the floor was outrageous. We could hardly get up to the stage. And you know, a lot of you don't have the ability of seeing me for who I really am. The same way that Jerry Svetanovich saw me 13 years ago when, you know, people weren't running up and taking pictures of me. When people weren't running up to me and handing me their babies to kiss. When I couldn't afford a bodyguard. When there wasn't a reason to have a bodyguard, by the way. You know, there was a time in Herbalife, you have to understand, I started out as a distributor, just like every single person in the room. I got my little tiny distributor kit, and I started the Herbalife company. And what you have to understand is to try to visualize and see me similar to Jerry Svetanovich. When we were sitting there in my office, and she was actually watching me get people on the products and collecting the checks, watching me actually follow up with my customers and talking to them, watching me do those first couple of meetings, and watching me sign up distributors and so on. When I started, there were no testimonials on the products. When I started, there wasn't anybody who had gotten into the business and made any money. And I started out with a lot of things that some people would have gotten discouraged with. I didn't have a good education. I didn't have a real great family background. I never had anybody in my family that had the talent or the skill or the education or the willingness, quite frankly, to ever sit down and teach me the kind of things that you're going to be taught here today. My drive really came from the inspiration of what happened to my mom and just sheer dedication to wanting to help people, trying my best that I could every single day. And I got to tell you, there was many things that I did wrong. There was ways that I handled my customers that weren't real great in the beginning. But you have to understand, I never had a sponsor to call up and ask them, what do I do with this customer to get them going again on the product? I never had an upline sponsor to help show me how to do a meeting. I just did my best every single day to the best of my ability, and I got customer by customer, and I did it distributor by distributor, and I kept doing it the first month, and then I tried harder the second month, and then I tried harder the third month, and by the first year I was trying so hard it was unbelievable, and by the second year I really picked up the pace, and I worked twice as hard the second year as I did the first year, and I worked 3 times as hard the third year as I did the first year. And you know what I'm doing now? I'm actually working 13 times as hard this year as I was the first year. And I'm going to continue doing that year after year after year. And I tell you that for a reason. Getting to the president's team is not going to be for free. Getting to the president's team is not going to necessarily be absolutely easy, okay? I tell you that because some people, I was at a meeting in Australia one time, and Lorraine Richardson was giving the meeting. And it was very profound because one of the questions that was asked of her that day is, Lorraine, you seem to have been very, very lucky because you sponsored a few really good people that have really worked out. And I thought what Lorraine Richardson said was very exciting. She said, I found that the harder I work, the luckier I get. But the great thing is here is nobody holds you back. You can do as much or as little as you choose to do every single day. Because I must tell you, the big story of Herbalife has just begun. The big impact that we're going to have on world health has just started. I want you to imagine when we finally get literally 20 million people around the world losing weight. 20 million. If you want to hear about talking about world change and the real story of Herbalife, wait till we've got 20 million customers using this product every single month. It's going to be outrageous. I happen to like doctors very much, okay? And many doctors are my friends and have become very close friends of mine. And I'm here to tell you, as a group, if we were to get excited enough about this company, if we were to get dedicated enough about this company, if we were to get excited enough about this cause, because when we have 20 million people losing weight, there's going to be the most outrageous health benefits that the world has ever seen. And let me tell you what the newspapers are going to be writing. When the world changed its health, it came because of proud Herbalife distributors. And that's something that each and every one of us can be so proud of every day as we wear our buttons. You know, I'm proud about wearing my Herbalife button. You know, 13 years now, you know, I've met a lot of people that make money in a lot of different ways. And some of the people that I've met, quite frankly, are not that proud about the way they've made their money. Certain people that I've met in the entertainment business, certain people that I've met in other professions. But what's so exciting here in Herbalife is you literally cannot succeed in the company unless you are really helping other people. So when you see all these people who get up on the stage that are getting all this glory, they're truly the ones that have helped the most people, that have gotten the most people in the business, and it's something you can look yourself square in the mirror every single day with integrity and hope and honesty and say, by golly, I'm proud to be an Herbalife distributor. What a great feeling.